are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Let's get it. What?
At Tanagra, when the walls fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. How you doing today?
Good. If this is your first time watching because you scanned this in a woman's bathroom somewhere in Texas.
Okay. Do we know that that's up in a woman's bathroom somewhere in Texas?
Megan is traveling, our sister is traveling to Texas, and I gave her 25 of these. And she goes, I could put them in like bathroom stalls. Sure, that's one option.
Yeah.
So there might be someone watching this for the first time who scanned this in a women's bathroom in Texas. So welcome.
You know, we love Texas and we love women. We're on
Indeed.
We're on the record.
Yes.
That we're very pro woman. We prefer them.
And pro-Texas.
And we're pro-Texas.
But Texas women...
Women from Texas?
That's a whole different thing.
I mean, all my exes...
Not all your exes.
All my exes.
Your current wife,
she lived in Texas briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of my exes
they not live, Texas.
No, I don't think any of them live in Texas. But I don't keep up with them, all of them, very much. You know what I mean?
No,
so,
it's ever evolving.
Some of them
thing.
I'm aware of.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook. You know, you just kind of like want to know.
Stalk is, I think, the right word.
Do you regret the decision when you broke up with me? You know what I mean? That's mostly what I'm curious about.
Did you ever break up with anybody?
Ever. No,
they always broke
once.
up with you. Okay. Yeah.
I can see it.
Did you survive the last podcast with Savannah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Because there was a little controversy.
Yeah.
You said things you shouldn't have said?
No. Just the whole she gets hit on a lot.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
No,
Sometimes. It's rare.
Yeah,
and
listen.
when it does happen, listen.
When you're
it's
like
not.
cleaning the windows at the gay bar.
Yeah, basically.
You got a look about you, and take this as a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got a look about you that I think the homosexual man might find attractive, you know? And once again, take that as a compliment. In the way that it was
when I look at him, I see bisexual. You know.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, we know you're not that way.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
But
Well, we assume.
I'm pretty sure.
I
Still
don't
figuring it out.
What happens behind closed doors is on you. I don't want to know.
All right.
Well, okay, listen. I got a text
Yes, you did.
from a friend at work, and he watches the show
Yeah.
on YouTube, and he goes, "Did your brother get arrested?" And I said,
And is that the whole text? Because I'm curious about this, because
Yeah.
you kind of told me about this, but I want to know more.
He goes, "Did your brother get arrested tonight?" And it was like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't talked to him. I
Yeah.
said, let me text him and find out. So I texted you. And as it turns out, it sounds like you got arrested.
I was darn close to getting arrested. So it's Friday night, just a few days ago, and we had a little church event, and then on the way home, Erica and me, and then our two girls.
You were hitting the communion wine.
We were not hitting the communion wine.
Because I thought maybe they saw you driving.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So on our way home, or before we went home, we decided to go to Kroger to get some ice cream or something like that.
Family trip to Kroger.
Friday night, we're going to watch a movie,
Yeah.
eat ice cream, and then we're going to stop by Taco Bell because the kids had not had dinner
Okay,
yet.
listen, things to eat on a Friday night.
Mount Rushmore
of things to eat.
Things to eat on a Friday night.
Yes.
I'm going to come in strong with pizza.
Pizza and ice cream is your Washington and Lincoln, right?
I'm going to then throw in popcorn.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Movie night, Friday night, popcorn. So you got popcorn, ice cream, pizza.
It's a Friday night.
You got one more thing. Now, listen, I'm going to make a case for subs.
Okay.
Like as an adult, I like getting a sub.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like a Friday night. You know what I mean?
Wings.
Wings is good.
Yeah.
I mean, now, we are thinking
I'm thinking
party
wings.
foods and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I understand that, but I don't know. For some reason,
What else is coming to mind? Unless you want to throw a drink in there.
nachos.
I don't know. I think nachos more of like a Friday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon football.
You do. See, I was thinking subs is more of a Saturday afternoon football.
Okay. Bologna Sandwich from GNR.
Done. So we go to Kroger. GNR bologna sandwich?
That's
I was
world
thinking
famous. Have you had it?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I was thinking pork rinds dipped in cottage cheese.
On the toilet.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm
To follow up with your bathroom sandwich.
So
Yep.
we have a plan where we're going to go to Kroger, get some treats, and the girls wanted Taco Bell on the way home. We said,
Okay.
we'll get you Taco Bell.
So you've got ice cream. The girls are getting Taco Bell.
When we just go into Kroger.
Yeah.
And
Who's all with you?
little side note, Abby, Michaela, Erica.
Okay.
Levi's in another car
Gotcha.
somewhere else. Maybe being tailed by a police officer. We don't know.
Yeah.
And so we go to Kroger, and on the way to Kroger, side note, on the way to Kroger, going on the road, there's this car approaching us with a top headlight on, like a
searchlight.
kind of a searchlight. Yeah, searchlight.
Kind
Turns
of
out-
like a
Yeah.
a light that's moving and looking
it's
for
looking,
things?
searching for things.
Okay.
So, and we're like, man, that's weird, and it's so bright, And
Yeah.
at first, you didn't know it was a cop car because it's so bright in your face. And then when we get beside of it, we realize it's a sheriff's SUV.
Yeah.
And we said, well, I guess they're looking for somebody.
Was it the guy with the glasses and the mustache? That
Yes.
guy? Okay.
Waldo. Back to Waldo.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we're like, that's weird. I guess they're looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we pull into Kroger, and then we're walking out of Kroger.
And you're all in Kroger.
And we're all inside. We
Nobody
all walk
stayed in the car.
inside,
Yeah.
and then we all come back outside. And Erica swears. Nah, she might be right about this, but
She shouldn't swear.
She shouldn't swear. I've always said that, but it's a habit. It's hard
another
for her
thing
to
you
break.
tell her when she's upset. Please stop swearing.
Please stop swearing.
Yeah.
So she swears that the whole front end cleared out when we were there.
The whole
Like-
front end of Kroger.
Yes, like the whole checkout area.
Oh.
And in hindsight, I do remember that we were the only ones there.
Well,
and
it's
that-
11 o'clock at night, too.
Yes, but we also but there were other people in the store.
Okay.
And when sometimes something doesn't scan and it flashes like manager, or help is coming.
Assistance.
Help is coming, it
Yeah.
says. And it took a long time for help to come because the guy walked back to, the thing was flashing and he's like the manager, and he walks back to the service counter area and says something on the phone, and he was looking at us.
Yeah.
And then hung the phone up and then came and did the thing, whatever, and then we walk out. So she swears that everyone was
Everybody's in on
aware
it, yeah.
of what's happening. So we get in our vehicle, and it's funny to think about now.
Okay. I have questions already, but
Yeah.
did he call someone? Did he say?
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. So, I mean, we know he was on the phone,
Right.
and he was looking at us, and the whole area was cleared out, and it took
Okay.
him abnormally long to come help us.
Did the phone ring and he picked it up, or he
I
picked
don't
it?
remember.
Okay.
I don't
That's
remember.
fine.
So we're walking out of Kroger, and it's funny in hindsight to look back and to think about it, but I like to embarrass you. You embarrass your kids. That's what you do.
Dad life.
It's dad life. One of the great joys of parenting.
It might be the best part of being a dad.
Specifically being a dad of teenagers. One of the
Yes.
great joys is embarrassing them in public.
Yes.
And so I'll randomly do things like sing out, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like do just weird things,
Goofy dances.
I've recently been doing, because we walk a lot in Marion. I've recently been doing my I pooped myself walk with the kids, and the girls hate it. And it's, I mean, I don't know if we can. What's the best camera? I don't know to do it, but it's the look. This is where's the? Can you get my face? Is my face in it? So it's this.
Joe Biden walks like that.
Yeah, that is like a Joe Biden walk.
He looks confused.
It's the look.
Like something might be wrong.
It's the look on the face, and then just the slow, on purpose steps. And
Intentional.
And I'll walk like that in public
And clinching.
sometimes. Yes, and a clinching. I mean, if you put the hand back there, maybe. But I'll walk like that in public sometimes, and it drives them crazy. They get so upset at me for doing it.
The people in society right now that do that are the Joe Bidens of the world and the toddlers.
It is
like
funny
a
how
3-year-old.
that is a Joe Biden walk. That's
It is.
kind of a. I'm confused. Where am I?
Where do I put my hands?
Yeah, I don't know. What am I? So,
Did I wear my diaper tonight?
yeah, well, so I'm doing stuff in the parking lot to embarrass Abby, and she's trying to get me to stop singing because I'm singing.
And doing the poop walk.
No,
Oh.
I wasn't. I did the poop walk in the store, but I didn't do it. I've been doing it a lot lately, but I did it in the store. You know, the other day I was walking home. I was at a meeting downtown, very close to my house, and I was walking home, and I had too much coffee that morning, and I was about 10 minutes.
So you did a real poop walk.
Well, yeah. Well, I had a really great. It was really free. This is quite a. We talk a lot about pooping yourself on the show, and I apologize that's. I understand that's junior high humor, but this is us.
It's real life.
This is who we are.
We experience this stuff.
So I'm in that mode where like if I can see my apartment building.
The Texas girls
like-
are loving this.
I'm
by
like,
the way.
I'm sure they're loving it. Yeah. Well, you know what? You got it off of a bathroom sticker, so that's
They're
kind of
like,
on you.
I can relate.
Yeah, right. So I hope somebody's watching this on their phone while they're using
the
the
bathroom
restroom.
stall,
That would be fantastic. If you're doing that,
let us know.
let us know. Don't send a picture, but just let us know.
Or
Jesse?
nope.
So I'm walking downtown the other day, and I see my building in the distance, and I'm doing the math. I know how long it takes me to get there. I'm like, I don't know if I can make it.
Yeah.
But you know what I just did, Jason? Instead of kind of like freaking out and saying, oh, no, this is going to happen, I was like, you know what? If it happens, it happens. And my building's right there. I'll just go, and I'll just take care of it. I'm not gonna worry about it. And I just really made that decision, and all of a sudden the stomach problem went away.
Yeah.
And I was just fine.
The anxiety makes
I
it
think
worse.
that's the problem is the anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'm in the parking lot walking out of Kroger with my wife and my 2 girls, and I'm
Singing loudly.
singing, and I don't know what I'm doing, some kind of show tunes thing or something. And Abby is embarrassed because we're in public, and she's trying to get me to stop talking. And she goes to put her hand in front of my face to stop me, except I'm closer to her than she realizes, and she just basically swats me in the face, like just slaps me in the face. And I make a big deal about it. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe you did that, and I'm like, and she's like, Dad, stop it.
Yeah.
Well, unbeknownst to us, the police were watching us the entire time.
The searchlights come on.
And my, this 13-year-old girl is smacking me in the face and like, we got to get this sicko off the streets, like this it's worse than we thought it was,
Yeah.
Safety's off, boys.
So yeah, I mean,
Switch
I
from
was
stunned to kill.
Yeah, at that point, I was in the crosshairs of something. You know what I mean? They're probably like, we got to
red
protect
dots
these.
on you.
You got snipers on the roof of Kroger.
What is this? So
You're like a cat getting the red light.
So we're walking. We get to our car, as you do.
Yeah.
Put the groceries in, as you do. Put the car in drive.
Did you put the
as
cart
do.
back into the cart rack, or did
Well,
you
I made
leave it?
Erica do it, but yeah, I mean it. So we pull out of the parking spot. 3 seconds later, lights behind me.
Yeah.
Sheriff's SUV.
Red and blue.
Whoop whoop. You know? And I'm like, that's weird. A parking lot, like,
Yeah.
and I know you can drive like illegally in a parking lot, like, I always
And you
make
immediately.
yeah. Well, I was buckled up. I'm very good at that.
Okay.
So, I always. And I don't like it when people drive incorrectly through parking lots. It bothers me a lot. Like a lot. I don't like it when people cut through Jesse probably does it all the time. I don't like it when people
You would.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's also 11 o'clock at night and there's nobody there, right?
yeah. So,
Okay.
but I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And so I'm very aware. Like,
I don't even know if that's illegal, by the way.
I don't think it is.
I think it's
technically
frowned upon.
because that's private property.
Right.
So I don't think they could. And I'm like, what could they be pulling me over for?
Yeah.
So I put the car in park, and I get my wallet out and pull out my license. And as I'm doing that, a police car, they're all sheriffs, from my left and one from my right with their lights on come at me pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so now I am...
So my buddy was in the Arby's drive-thru.
Yeah.
And so he saw it from Arby's when he was going
He saw it all happening.
And he heard on the scanner.
So he turned this...
He has a scanner.
Okay.
And it's talk about Dan Owings. And that's he watches the show, but I don't think he's ever met you in real life.
Sure.
And so he hears Dan Owings
and sees all these cop cars.
He sees this and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Jason's brother is getting arrested. What did he do?"
This is amazing. So it's funny that my name was all over these scanners and whatnot. So so now I'm surrounded.
Grandma starts crying.
Yeah,
she hears it on
it
the
was
scanner.
a big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by these cops with their lights on and stuff, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I roll down my window and I have my license in my hand.
Yeah.
And the guy comes up behind and he's like, "Sir, I need you to get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle." I was like, okay, So now I've talked to a few people.
My daughter hit me. I didn't hit her.
I promise you, officer.
Yeah.
She's a monster. Take her, take her from me. So, so I, and I've talked to a few people about this, and a few people are like, "I wouldn't have got out of the vehicle. They didn't have a reason. You should have been like, well, what have I done? Why do you know what I mean?"
So this is okay. Let's come back to that.
Okay, because I got thoughts about that too. Well, I mean, I say, okay, yeah, I can get out of the vehicle, no problem. So I open up the car door and I give him my driver's license.
Yeah.
And I'm a little nervous.
Yes.
I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I know that something has happened. There's some sort of mistake. I was like, is there going to be like a surprise?
Yeah.
We forgot your birthday, and this is,
From July.
we got you good.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I know that I didn't do anything that warrants all of this.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you've done smaller things, but
small
nothing,
things all the time, but nothing like this.
I mean, a Snicker bar in your pocket.
A Snicker bar, yeah, that would have been funny if that was the time. That was the one time I gave in to I really want that Heath bar. So,
I have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The point is, I want to steal
It's the
it.
thrill. So I know that there's a mistake, but I'm a little nervous, and it's cold outside, and
Yeah.
I've got this coat on, so I go to put my hands in my coat
you
pocket.
can't do that.
And it's just instinctual. I think there's a psychological, I'm trying to self-soothe or something,
Yeah.
right? And as I'm putting my hands in my pockets, he's like, "Sir, I need you to keep your hands where I can see them." I'm like, "Yep, no problem." "All right, man, I'm fine. No big deal. Here's my hands. I'm not going to put them in my pockets." Now, the girls swear, because they were watching this the whole time, that I was feeling around my pants the whole time.
I could see you doing that.
And I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I just wanted somewhere to put my hands.
Comfort.
You know what I mean? I wanted that comfort. And
Fetal
they're like,
position.
It looked like you were looking for your gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. When you're surrounded by police officers, let's see what you do. Right?
Yeah,
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Also, worst criminal of all time, you forget where you put your gun.
Yeah.
Man, I was prepared for this, and now I forget where I put it.
So he said, I said, well, what seems to be the problem? And he said, there is a warrant out for your arrest. We got your license plate number. He said, "You are Dan Owings. Is that correct?" I said, "Yeah, that's me. I'm Dan Owings." And they said, we ran your license plate number, and there's a warrant out for your arrest, and you're considered armed and dangerous, and we need to take you in. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, there's been some sort of mistake.
Yeah.
I said, now you guys are doing your job.
Anybody would say that, though.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. So I said, and I understand you guys are doing your job. So, you got to do what you got to do. But I'm telling you, there's a 0% chance that you have the right guy here. It's just, there's no way.
Right.
And he said, and when I said that, he kind of looks at me, and he looks in the car, and he said, "Are those your daughters in the car?" I said, "Yeah, those are my daughters, and that's my wife." And he said, "Well, why don't we come around back? I don't want your kids to see me handcuff you."
Oh gosh.
And I was like, "Oh wow, this just
it's getting real.
This is for real." He's like, "Come back right now." I was like, "Okay." I said, "I will come." But and I don't. We've never said this on the show. I don't pull this card ever, ever. I never pull this card.
Right.
But for the sake of this, I was like, okay, I will come, but I want to let you know, okay, I'm a chaplain with the Marion City Police Department. I said, I have a card with my name and identification on it that I can walk in a police station right now. Like, I can get past their security.
Right.
I said, I'm pretty sure that they had to do a pretty extensive background check on me to even get to that point. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know, like if I can do that,
and you say, "Let me get it real quick," and you reach for your wallet.
So he's like, "Is that true?" And I was like, "Yes."
No, I'm lying to you right now.
I know it's a good lie, but no, it's totally true.
I'm going to remember that. I'm not a chaplain, but I'm going to remember that.
And he said,
"Did he make you prove it?"
Well, you know what? I didn't have that. He didn't ask me for it, and I'm glad he didn't, because I don't keep that in my wallet. I keep it pinned up at my house, like in a specific spot. So I said, so he goes, is there anything that you could have done? You know, are you aware of anything? Does any of this make sense? Like, is there anything that you've done? He's trying to get me to say something.
Right.
And I was like, I don't even speed. That's what I told him. I was like, there's nothing, you know? And so we're kind of like having that conversation.
Did you see my daughter hit me?
Yeah, right. I'm like,
she's the bad one.
Take her. So, yeah, Michaela was joking that the whole time. Michaela's are just sarcastic that she was going to be like, like yell from the car, like, save me, he's a monster, you know, just for the joke, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's not even my real dad.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that she didn't do that. She was texting Levi apparently, the whole time.
Well, Levi is driving a car
registered in my name, and he said that the police were following him for a while at one point that same night. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's saying that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because his car reeks of marijuana smoke. I don't know. Which is unrelated to
the mystery machine.
He was doing a job clearing out some brush, and they were
stumbled across
some of that leaf, and so
long bottom leaf.
Long bottom leaf. Finest weed in the West Farthing. You don't know what that is, do you?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's from
I started laughing and
Lord of the
Rings. I don't get
it. So no, Levi does not partake of the
long bottom leaf.
Mm-hmm, the wacky tobacco.
Yeah, that's more your style.
What do they call them? What's the word? There's one that's my favorite. The kind of the beatniks. There was like a
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Ganja.
No, it's like an old-timey term. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Devil's lettuce.
So Levi, I like that. So Levi was says that he was being followed, but he's somewhere else. Nothing ever happened with him. So now we're having a conversation, and they're asking me questions, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even speed. And then they all go like this at the same time.
Yeah.
And they get quiet, and I'm like,
this is a Matrix situation.
Yeah. And so they all go like this, and I'm like, and he's like, get your hand away from me. Like,
you immediately go backwards.
I was like, I'm sorry, this is so surreal. So it feels like it was a dream.
Yeah.
So
you're pinching yourself.
I'm pinching him. He didn't like that either. So I'm trying to grab his gun. So
hot potato.
Yeah. And in the middle of it, I was like, see you later. And I went like this, like I was going to fly because I thought it was a
dream.
A dream. What do they call that when you're
lucid dreaming?
I thought it was a lucid dream, and when I went like that, I didn't go anywhere. So, so they all go like this at the same time, and he says, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Sir, it seems like there's an alias on your social security number, and so someone has taken your social security number, or, it's mixed up, and this is with this person that did these crimes in Cleveland, and you are not that person, Yeah.
I
was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Good. And I even asked
are you sure?
Really?
Where? Cleveland? Oh yeah, I don't go to Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio? So and I was even like, do you need to do anything? I mean, do you need to handcuff me? Is there, you know what I mean? Like, right. And he's like, no, we're done.
Can I put my hands in my pockets?
I was like, yeah, I know. I think I ended up putting my hands in my pockets just because I was like, and then they were very apologetic.
Yeah.
They're like, we are so sorry for this. I was like, listen, you guys are doing your job. He's like, yeah, we're trying to get bad guys off the streets. And I was like, and you are good at it. Like, let me just say that, And I said, you
say my brother's address is.
yeah, no, they're like, no, we're aware of him. We're just building a case. And the police officer told me, he's like, yeah, this whole operation, he's like, it's been like 35 minutes that we've been working on this.
Wow.
And so, yeah, the guys, they were looking for us. I don't know. I would have liked to have learned more. In hindsight, I probably would have let it go further before I said anything else.
Yeah.
Because what I'm guessing, I said the thing about the Marion police department, and then they contacted them because this is the sheriff's office.
Right.
So I'm guessing they contacted them and they did their research and figured it out real quick. So, so I'm wishing that I would have let it go further because I just think the story's better if I was in handcuffs in the back of the car. Like, that's a better story.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I would have let it go further.
Yeah.
Erica cried on the way home. Like, it was like her adrenaline was so, like, she was just, and the girls were just laughing, making fun of it the whole time. I was laughing immediately. She's like, Dan, this was serious,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything. That's the point.
But it was just the adrenaline of the whole thing, And you hear horror stories about things, an over-aggressive police officer and someone defends themselves, and then all of a sudden they think they're reaching for a gun, and boom,
you even putting your hands in your pockets.
I know, right? Yeah, I shouldn't have done it, But once again, I was thrown off my game.
Well, they said you're armed and dangerous.
Yeah, I was, and the guy told me afterwards. He's like, we were approaching you because your whole whatever bio was that you're armed and dangerous. Right. That's your whole thing.
Did you figure out what they thought you did?
No.
Okay.
No. I just know it was someone did something in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So turns out this person's social security number and mine are very close to one another. That's what I found out.
Okay.
And so at some point there was a clerical error and one number got switched.
Oh, like in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so this guy doesn't even know that him and I are tied together, as far as I know, right?
The bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I have to go into police station and get my fingerprints and then mail it to the Bureau of Criminal Investigations.
Yeah.
And then they will go through a process to verify that I'm not this guy, and then they'll somehow clear it so that won't ever happen again.
Yeah.
In the meantime, until that happens...
You still have a warrant out for your arrest.
Yes. And I drove into Columbus today. Eric was like, what's going to happen if we get pulled over? And I asked the police officers, I was like... what if this happens again?
Yeah.
They say, just tell them you have an alias social. He's like, when you say that, they'll know exactly what that means, and they'll be able to figure it out real quick. I was
right.
Like, okay. So they were super nice, like I said, very apologetic, and we laughed about it.
Get out of free jail card.
Yeah. Could you give me something that says, this is a good guy, this is not a bad guy? So, and I was almost like, anything that I could say. It's like, I watch Blue Bloods religiously. I'm a big fan of you guys.
Do you know Tom Selleck?
Because I think I could. I don't know. So yeah, it was quite a thing. It was quite a thing. So going back to the getting out of the vehicle thing, for me it was instinctual. Plus, I knew that I did nothing wrong.
Right.
Now, if I lived in like Mexico or somewhere where there was a very corrupt local government.
Right.
I might...
We live in Marion. Marion's a small town.
Yeah, I might be more prone to say, you know what, you're going to actually have to show me some... you're going to have to show me some identification or something like that,
Yeah.
And maybe I would have held to my rights or been a little bit more whatever. But in this situation, I know I didn't do anything wrong. So, I'm going to get out of the vehicle.
Right.
So...
No, that's tough. I think about our dad. He would not have done well in that situation.
That would have been tough.
And I take after him.
What would you have done?
My blood would have been boiling.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have been... You came across as nervous.
They said... What he said, he said, two things tipped me off. This is what the police officer said afterwards. He goes, first of all, you were very nice. He said, we don't deal with nice people ever. You know? He's like, so you were very nice. He said, secondly, it was the... are you guys farting and fist pounding? They're over here. They're farting and fist bumping. Honestly.
He's the only one in here who can hear it.
The circulation in here is not great.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, children. Just children.
Yeah.
So
one of them is my child.
I know. And
the other one might as well be yours.
Yeah. How old are you, Jesse?
28. Dad?
It's close.
Almost for you.
Almost for me.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Technically.
So
I don't know, what was I saying?
You were very nice.
I was very nice, and the chaplaincy thing. He was like, those are the two things that made me think, maybe this guy. But I just thought it was just like, you were very nice. So,
so that's the
you
key.
might not have been nice.
No, I don't know what I would have done.
It's hard to say until you're in it.
It is hard to say. Now so the last time I got pulled over in a situation where I could have potentially been in trouble. I was driving back from Toledo, and it was real late at night. I was in my car, and I'm driving the speed limit. I'm not breaking the law, and I get pulled over by two vehicles. And they approach me, they pull me out, and they say, "We want to search your vehicle." And I'm like, they don't have a warrant. They don't have the right to.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I could have held to my guns.
Yeah.
I said, well, why? I don't understand. I wasn't speeding.
Yeah.
Nothing was going on. And they said, we think you have drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they've run my license and stuff. I've never been in trouble with drugs. I've never.
Not once got caught.
Not once got caught. And it's a non-issue. And I know I don't have drugs in the car.
Yeah.
I'm not that stupid. And I said, oh, okay. And so they bring a dog out from the second car, and they're sniffing around through the car and stuff. And so I'm standing back by the other officer because he's like watching me as they're doing this. I'm like, why would you even? I don't understand. And they said, you have 4 air fresheners in your car hanging up. And they said, you're trying to cover the smell of something.
You're like, yeah,
That's
I
what
just
they
had
said.
White Castle.
No, I said, I have 5 kids.
Yeah.
I said, you're probably going to find a poopy diaper under the seat.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, that makes sense. And no, but here's the thing. I was nice.
That's hilarious.
You know,
it was the air fresheners.
The air fresheners. I had 4 of them. I had 1 in each window.
Yeah.
Because poopy diaper. I mean, it just, my car always smells like that. Not anymore. Sometimes.
Not all. It doesn't always smell
It doesn't
like
always
that.
smell like that, but sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does.
And
this room currently smells like that.
yes. And are you wearing your diaper? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Here's the thing. I had a large knife that was greater than like a pocket knife. I mean, it was like a hunting knife, like a real nice, $200 knife. I had it under my seat. Technically, that's illegal. And the officer pulls it out, and he comes to the back. He's like, "Is this your knife?" Yeah. And I was nice the whole time and everything. He's like, "Put this in the trunk." He's like, "You can't have this under your seat because the blade is so long and whatever." So I put it in my trunk, and everything was fine. But that's the thing. Polite, respectful. Yes, sir, no, sir. And I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's the way to go.
I'd have gone with them, and I wouldn't have fought at all. I never would have. I obviously said what I said because I knew that they were wrong.
Right.
But
it would have been funny, like if you knew you had nothing to do, like you had some time to kill.
Yeah,
and Erica
honestly.
wasn't going to have a heart attack because that's the other side of it, right?
Yeah, it would have been if they took me away.
Erica had been traumatized.
It would have been hard for her to drive home.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot. Yeah.
It would have been fantastic to just like smile, be in the handcuffs, and like chat up with the officer. Did you see the Buckeye game this last week?
In hindsight, I wish I could have asked to take a selfie with them afterwards. It would have been great, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I in hindsight, I would have let it go further just for the fun of it.
Just act like so innocent and so like naive.
That almost makes me look more psychotic.
I think that would be.
Or say like open-ended things, like when they're like, "You're armed and dangerous," would be like, "Am I?" Just saying, just those kind of things.
I think that would be bad. That would be bad. No, I would play it off like totally dumb, totally innocent, like you're a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I like pudding. Do you like pudding? What's your favorite type of pudding?
Yeah.
I like chocolate pudding.
Can you turn the lights on?
Can you make the siren go wee woo wee woo?
Well,
Yeah.
Anyway,
is the jail like on Andy Griffith with the key and Otis, and he could just reach out and grab it?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Is that what they call the clink? That they call it? So yeah, Mount Rushmore of police officers in pop culture, like movies, books, TV shows.
Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith,
Right.
Yeah.
The one from Mr. Rogers.
I think it's Speedy Delivery. You're thinking delivery guy?
The mailman.
Is there
police officer?
I don't remember
I don't
the police
think there's
officer.
a police officer from Mr.
So I don't think
and
that
if,
iconic.
if there was one, the fact that we don't know who it is, it probably doesn't belong on the list.
Yeah.
It feels like this should be easier.
Columbo?
Okay.
He's a detective.
All right, so we're into, Columbo.
He's a police officer
Sure.
at the Los
Norris.
Angeles. Who? Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
He's a Texas Ranger. That's not
Texas
police officer.
Ranger. Is
That's
not
not police. That's like a
officer.
state. That's a state officer,
It's
right?
a state. I don't exactly know what a Texas Ranger is in compare. I don't know if he would be considered a cop.
I think he'd be like highway patrol.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what a Texas Ranger is.
Okay. All right.
But that's not your local.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we can count him, I guess. I mean, that's
I think it's fine. Walker,
Okay.
Texas Ranger.
Columbo.
Columbo, Andy Griffith.
Yeah, we got one more.
Any of the Police Academy movies, maybe?
I just don't know them that well.
Mhm.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to say Tom Selleck from Blue Bloods, Frank Reagan, because
Hill Street Blues.
yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Paul Blart.
Mall cop.
Mall cop.
He's a mall cop.
Mm-hmm.
That's like private security.
But doesn't the movie end and he gets to be a police officer or
so,
something?
yeah.
Don't know.
I think so.
He's funny.
It feels like there's one we're missing. Right into the show, tell us the one we're missing, because I'm sure there's a glaring
Oh, I'm sure that there is.
miss.
I'm sure that there is. Now, yeah, I mean, Amos on Murder, She Wrote, the town sheriff.
Yeah.
I like Murder, She Wrote.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's iconic enough.
Yeah. Same thing with Blue Bloods. As
Yeah.
much as I like Tom Selleck as Frank Reagan, I don't know that he belongs on the list.
Yeah, maybe like a Law and Order guy.
Yeah.
But that Sam Waterston, he's a lawyer. I don't think he's a detective.
Jimmy Smits.
What show is that?
NYPD Blue, right?
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah. This seemed like it was going to be very
A
easy.
slam dunk. Yeah,
but
it's
there's
really
just
not.
none
We're
that
missing
are
one. Just
jumping.
tell us what it is.
Tell us what we're missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, boy, that took a long time.
Yeah, we're almost done with the show. We're rounding third, as they say. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's do the Netflix and
Let's just go ahead. Let's just do it.
Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon Prime or something like that, like YouTube. Or we don't want to put a box around what you watch, so you never know.
Jason, what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
My Netflix suggestion of the week is going to be a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay.
Permissible. I'll allow it.
The channel name also happens to be his name.
Okay.
It's called Trey Smith.
Trey Smith.
Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Smith.
Okay.
Smith.
All right.
Do you know this guy?
No.
He is an interesting person. He's very over the top, dramatic, talking directly to the camera. And I feel like the camera's always way too close to his face. But he does a lot of religious things,
Okay.
prophecy type of things. But lately he's gotten into some political things too.
Okay.
And a lot of this stuff overlaps. Some of the stuff, I'll just say this. I really, really enjoyed listening to him.
Okay.
He's kind of ADHD, I think. He
Okay.
bounces a lot. And so if you're not caught up on some of the stuff that he is talking about, I think you could easily be confused.
Yes.
But I've watched enough
I
of
can easily be confused anyway.
I've watched enough of his content, like you know where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you don't necessarily have to
Yeah,
like-
he looks a little.
did you pull it up here?
Yeah, he's looking at some kind of.
Yeah. So that's the way most of his videos are. Now listen, he gets into some pretty wild and crazy stuff.
He probably talks about the Nephilim at some point.
Yes.
Would be my guess.
And I love the Nephilim.
You're a big fan of the Nephilim.
Listen,
Mhm.
I love the story.
Yeah, it's second video is Nephilim, the true story.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big fan of the Nephilim.
yeah,
I enjoy.
You do like the Nephilim.
I do like the Nephilim. Now, He's got a lot of like weird and crazy stuff. I tend to buy it. I tend to believe the stuff that he's saying is true.
You're in on the Trey Smith.
I'm in on the Trey Smith bandwagon. And I think it's worth listening to. I think it's worth watching. Nothing that he says is probably like so controversial it's going to like uproot and turn you over, you know, if you have a foundation or a base already. But
okay.
It's definitely, he's got some solid content. And listen, it's not for everybody. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But if you're into some of that weird religious stuff, you'll like it.
Controversial documentaries is one of his bylines here.
Yeah.
So
he's got great content, and he's got a ton of content going back 10 or 12 years. So there's plenty of stuff.
Trey Smith offers or covers everything from the safe robbery he committed on Benny Hinn friend Mike Murdoch, to the theory of everything, the Book of Enoch, the Illuminati, and the end of the world.
Yeah, I really like it.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Think about.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff there, and if you're into that type of stuff, you're gonna love it. If that stuff does not interest you at all, like my wife, I was watching it tonight when my wife got home. She's like, "Can we watch something else?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
he seems very eccentric.
yes, yes,
Okay,
and I like it.
all right.
Listen, I would love to sit down and have coffee with him.
Sure.
Like, I think he would be on more than one occasion. I wish we lived in the same town. I would have coffee with him once a week.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Trey Smith.
Trey Smith. YouTube.
Yeah.
My Netflix suggestion of the week is there's a new PBS documentary by Ken Burns called Muhammad Ali. It is about the boxer Cassius Clay.
Yes.
And, formerly Cassius Clay. And then he changed his name to honor
draft dodger,
a tyrant, and a violent religion. But he was a heck of a boxer. Yeah. And the documentary is pretty good. I think it's 3 parts.
Okay.
And it covers birth to death. It's the whole thing. I listened to an interview with Ken Burns, and he was saying that they basically started this documentary about like 8 or 9 months after Muhammad Ali died.
Okay.
So this is his whole life, beginning to end, and it's a Ken Burns documentary, if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's very well done. It's pretty interesting. And I'm about halfway through the first one. I think each one's like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So you talk about probably 6 hours of content, give or take.
Where can you find it?
Well, it's on PBS. So if you subscribe like me to the PBS documentaries.
Yeah.
So on Amazon, it's an extra like $4 a month to subscribe to the PBS documentaries. It's not all of PBS's material. It's just their documentaries.
So you subscribe to PBS. I subscribe to UFO TV.
Yeah. And you pay money for that.
Yeah, you pay money for PBS.
Okay.
I'd rather watch stuff about UFOs.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
A lot of it's really good stuff.
I believe it. I just have a hard. I have a low threshold for stuff like that. I can only watch it for 10 minutes at a time.
I'm like more
about
than 10
once
hours
a month
at a time. Yeah, I love that stuff, and it's going to happen someday. They're going to land. They're going to exit the spaceship, and I have some thoughts about that.
Mount
but we can
Rushmore of alien colors, skin colors of aliens: green,
gray.
Well, I would say silver, maybe. But there's
the
gray.
gray aliens.
There's a gray alien. So green, gray.
Yeah.
And
E.T. was brown. Alpha was brown.
Well, I would say just like human colored. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they look just like us.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what? The human skin color is a kaleidoscope. Did
you
really
say
is.
green?
Green, gray.
Yeah.
I think are your Mount Rushmore. Your Washington and Lincoln.
I would say Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Yeah.
And then like silver, robotic, gold.
Okay.
Something like that. Metallic.
Okay. I think that's different.
Where they've like evolved into these
artificial
beings
intelligence,
that their brains have been downloaded into some sort of robotic situation.
They're soulless.
Maybe clear might be another one.
Oh yeah. Well, consciousness. It could be just pure energy.
When we were kids, and I think we've told this story before, but man, when we were kids, we went on a vacation with our grandparents where we went up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
And we were staying in a kind of a little motel kind of a thing in Massachusetts. And it was dark outside. And I'm like, how old was I?
I was 12. You were 10.
So I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it's the first time, like, extended period of time we've been away from home.
We were gone for a month at that point.
And we're staying in this little motel, and
it was almost like a cabin.
Yeah, it was kind of like a cabin. Yeah, mm-hmm.
It was like a standalone unit. It had windows.
I have a very solid memory of it. And our grandparents,
everything was wood on the inside.
Everything was wood, so much wood.
Yeah.
And our grandparents in this dark cabin where I'm unfamiliar.
And they are of the generation that they're trying to save electricity, so they're shutting lights off.
Yes. Always shutting lights off. Yeah. There's like one light on in the house.
Yeah.
And they turn on
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes, I have vivid memory of this.
And it's about an alien that abducted someone, a kid, from his room. And the shot was, and it was like a green alien face putting its head like up above the window and like looking into the kid's room.
Yeah.
And then the kid gets abducted. And that freaked me out, man. And then we're lying in our room, all the lights off. Can I have a light on? No.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had a window that I just watched all night long. I didn't sleep. My eyes didn't shut for 1 second.
Yeah.
I watched that window all night long because I was convinced that an alien head was going to pop up and look at me.
You know, yes, it's creepy. I slept fine. I like that stuff.
I have a lower tolerance for that sort of thing than you do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. Okay, so we have like about 5 minutes left.
All right.
I have a few things. Do you have anything that you desperately want to talk about?
No. I mean, I got stuff.
Yeah, no, I got stuff too. Okay, listen. My wife and I went to a wedding.
Okay.
Someone else's. It wasn't ours. Well, we did go to our own wedding, but
I was there too.
20 years ago. We went to this wedding, and the couple that were getting married were older. 70 something.
Okay.
They had been married before. Whatever. That part's not important, but she wasn't wearing the traditional white dress.
White wedding dress.
She was just wearing a dress. And it looked fine. Whatever. But she had these like tall heels on.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady always has these extravagant shoes.
Okay.
Heels, crazy stuff going on. And my wife is always like looking at her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, as we're exiting, and they're standing in the back, like shaking hands with everybody, and my wife comments, "I loved your shoes."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, I knew you would, blah, 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 blah."
Mm-hmm.
I think women are the only ones who notice other women's shoes. Women don't wear them for the sake of men. They wear them to impress other women. 100%. Now, they wouldn't say that. I think they want to, because I've heard my wife say this. I like these shoes. They look cute.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. Like, who are you trying to impress?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't impress me.
Mm-hmm.
So are you trying to impress another dude? Not really. You're trying to impress other women. Why? I don't get it.
I don't care to talk about this, but I will say that I believe, and I do not claim to be an expert, but I believe that when a woman wears heels, it makes her body posture in a certain way that is more attractive to the male species.
The Texas women are loving this, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll say it for you, Dan. Makes their butt look bigger.
Well, it just makes them stand a little bit differently.
Yeah. I just don't get it.
Well, I would know.
I don't know that. I don't know that what they look like or whatever is that important. But I do think that there's like a primal, instinctual male attraction to a woman in heels in a way that is. I mean, there's a reason that they started wearing.
I just don't get it. So when we went to Vegas for a 10-year anniversary, 10 years ago. And we've decided this one night, whatever night it was, I can't remember.
That you were going to wear heels. And you're like, finally, I'm just going to do it. I just been wanting to do
Vegas
it when I'm in Vegas. So now's the time.
I'm going to do what I want.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. We've been married long enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowed to wear heels if I want.
Yeah.
But she decides that she's going to wear heels, and we're going to walk all the way up and down the strip.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, we're going to walk maybe 3 to 5 miles.
Yeah, this might be a bad idea.
You are not going to want to wear those.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, but I like the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, they're not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through, we stop at a Walgreens to buy
get some
flip-flops.
shoes. Oh, flip-flops, yeah.
Because she couldn't wear the shoes
If
anymore.
only
They were
someone
giving
would
her
have
blisters.
said something.
Silly.
All right,
tried.
real quick as we're closing.
Yeah.
Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
Who's the final three going to be and who's going to
Jürgen.
win? Jürgen?
Giuseppe. And the
Christelle.
Indian. Yeah, Christelle.
Okay. So Lizzie's going this week.
Gone.
And then Chigs is going to stay.
Chigs
so
will stay.
So next week it'll be Jürgen, Giuseppe, Christelle, and Chigs.
Yes.
And then you say Chigs is going.
Yeah.
Can I say that Chigs is getting better every week?
He is getting better every week.
He's the dark horse.
Listen.
And I'm not saying that because of the color of his skin.
Jürgen, I was actually going to... Christelle.
so crazy. I keep on winning Star Baker. I don't understand it, but it's so wonderful.
Jürgen could be a Bond villain.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
He sounds just like the bad guy on The Mandalorian. I want to see the child. This guy, bring me the child. I need the asset of the child. Doesn't he sound like him?
He does. He sounds like a bad guy.
Yeah,
I
he's a
love
great
him.
bad guy.
And he's very soft.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
Giuseppe's like an 8 every time.
Every time.
Jürgen
As
is
a 9
like,
or a 7.
It's like a 9, 10, or a 7. I mean, his ceiling, he could go, but that's not a guarantee.
Right.
Giuseppe, every single time, it's an 8.
Yes.
It's an 8, 8.5, like in that range.
B+, A-. Every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So who's your favorite to win?
I like Jürgen.
You like Jürgen. I'm a Jürgen guy too.
Yeah. From the
I
very
would say
first
my
episode
first
I
guess
like.
is Jürgen. If I had to pick a second guess,
Giuseppe.
No, I would say Chigs.
Oh, no. Chicks.
I'm telling you.
Did you see he busted out the glasses this week?
I'm telling you.
He busted out the glasses.
Chigs.
He's changing his image.
Chigs?
I don't like
I
it.
like Chigs. All right.
Chigs.
Well, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog. I've spoken.
I've spoken. That's my thing. No, Jesse. If you don't.